Welcome to this inaugural episode of the Cheesa, Vida podcast. I'm your host, Mike Dalton. I have my friend Nathaniel with me. I just got back from my second viewing of this film. I went and saw it at the EMAX with my cousin and Nathaniel here. He saw it for his first time. I have a few thoughts about the movie. I was going to initially do a review right after, but I decided to wait and see what a bunch of people thought and see how much it made, because that did worry me. The initial weekend slump did worry me a little bit. It seems to be doing fine overseas, but other than that, I'm gonna kind of just let Nathaniel ramble here, and he's got the Rotten Tomatoes website pulled up. He's taking a look at some reviews. We're gonna let you know what we thought, but go ahead, Nathaniel.
Mr. Bob Mandello from NPR, top critic apparently.
Oh, he did not wait. You're going right into these.
Well, they call him a top critic.
Okay,
so top critic of not even pointing out shit about this movie. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman got the tone right last time. Godot, sorry.
That's all right.
Which suggested things were looking up, but without director Patty Jenkins around, she's subject the dismissive male gaze for which Hollywood's long been criticized. Had nothing to do with the Justice League whatsoever, and the fact that you said that just pretty much shows me you're a cuck. Moving on. There's some welcome levity, some genuine conversation as when Bats and Diana share a drink, and a few moments that feel like really good comic book panels, especially mid-credits. For some, that may be enough. Okay. Just a little thought on that. Batman very rarely ever drink. That's...
Well,
in the comics.
It depends on which age, because in the Silver Age, they didn't really do anything with drugs. They just didn't mention it. Comic Code wouldn't let them. It wasn't until Stan Lee got approached by the feds in the 70s, I think? Like the mid-70s. Maybe 73, maybe later. I don't know. Someone fact-check me. But, yeah, he ran a story in Spider-Man about drugs, and that's kind of what broke the code. But, yeah, so Batman didn't really do drugs. He was busting people, though.
No, but he didn't really drink either.
Yeah.
His son said it once that he thinks it just diminishes himself.
When I think classic Batman, though, I think Silver Age, kind of, I guess. But I'm just kind of a Silver Age fan.
Before we start talking a little bit of how we felt about Justice League,
I'm just saying they didn't really run drug stories until, I don't know, the 80s-ish, so.
Okay. Before we start talking about how we feel about the Justice League, I want to read a couple more of these critic reviews. Sarah Stewart from the New York Post, top critic apparently. A pointless flail of expensive yet somehow cheap-looking CGI that no amount of tacked-on quips or even Gadot's luminescent star power can rescue. I'm very surprised that she even mentioned Gal. A pointless flail of expensive yet somehow cheap-looking CGI. There was 2 scenes in that whole movie that had horrible CGI, and that's only because he had a mustache. The farm scene, and then the end with him in the Flash. That was it.
They say Steppenwolf looks terrible. That's what a lot of people say. That's what the criticism is. He's a big, cheap CGI villain. I've watched a lot of YouTubers say that.
If he looks horrible, then Thanos looks like a pile of shit. I mean, it's impossible to say that, because CGI is limited to the technology of our time, and from where they're at, it's amazing. People, come on, this isn't the fucking 40s where we're expecting flying cars in 20 years. That's not the dream anymore, you know what I mean? We could hope for a better TV next year and a better camera quality. We got a good experience. Just enjoy it. Jonathan L. Fisher, Slate. I don't know what the fuck that is. Even the strength of Superman couldn't turn this ship all the way around. Well, apparently his strength could beat the shit out of Steppenwolf and carry a building full of people in it. Moving on. A B movie, wherein all involved...
Spoilers, I guess.
Right. Yeah, everyone listening, there's spoilers. A C-grade B movie, wherein all involved fully satisfy their contractual obligations. I really feel like that's a shot, saying they just did it for the money, but this is probably the best assemble of people since honest, they're catching up to Marvel. That's all I gotta say.
You think so?
One step at a time. They're behind, but one step at a time. Let's put it like this:
are
Marvel's
you getting paid by Warner Brothers to say that.
So DC, yeah, they're just starting the DCEU right now. They're just starting it.
It's gotten off to a bad start too.
Marvel's almost done. They're about to have to resurrect everyone by 2020. New actors, no one wants to play it anymore. What else do they got? They're gonna make a couple Hulk movies, maybe another Iron Man. Infinity Wars Part 1 and 2. You got Black Panther was introduced. He'll have a couple movies, but literally everyone in the Avengers dies in Infinity Wars Part 1. That's how the comics goes. That's how the cartoons went. They all get resurrected. Thor gets killed and gets resurrected into a woman. Iron Man dies. Captain America dies, and then Bucky took over the mantle. But it's crazy. But still, they're running out of stuff, and Disney's, they got a lot of momentum, but they're losing it because oh guys, come on, let's get it going, But DC's catching up. I think Ben Affleck really needs to sit down and think about what his future looks like, because if he keeps saying, or if these unsecured viewpoints, people keep saying he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. He's literally played the best Batman, screenplayed Batman, and I've ever seen in my entire life. This is The Dark Knight.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Alyssa...
And I actually did like Christian Bale too, so...
Yeah.
What do I know, though?
Alyssa Rosenberg from the Washington Post. Top critic. Apparently they're all top critics. Everyone involved in making Justice League, and everyone who will eventually see it, deserves something better than this. You work at the Washington Post, don't give me any shit about this movie. Fantastic movie. Phenomenal. Go see it. Everyone...
Do you think she did?
Huh?
Do you think she did?
Half of these people probably saw the trailer and didn't... Or they sat through it for 20 minutes and people got out. They didn't even give the movie a chance, man. That's the thing. They're like, okay. It's like a person from watching The Empire Strike Back and then going and sitting in the new Star Wars. Yeah, it's not going to be good, but give it a chance. You know what I mean?
Did
Tyler...
you like the new Star Wars?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I did too.
I was a fan of it. I don't like all the spin-offs. They're getting kind of out of hand, though. That they just need to chill. Rogue One was okay, but we don't need a Han Solo film. We know where he came from. We know what he is. He made the Kessel Run. Let's just call it a day. There's really not much backstory about that. Who are we gonna meet? His parents? I don't care about that. I'm just trying to see him shoot people. Justice League. Oh, hold on. Tyler Harper, super reviewer.
What the? A super reviewer?
Super reviewer. 4 stars.
Where's he from?
I don't know. He gave it a 4 stars, though, which I'm pretty happy. Justice League takes all the influence from the comics and takes it on spin on the movie. Though there was some plot holes and some awkward moments, the film is a lot of fun and is an entry in the DCEU that will take the franchise into the future films. Very good viewpoint, and I respect that. 2.5 stars. Film crazy. Super reviewer. DC always seems to be missing something. It never quite hits the spot and feels like an effort to watch to the end. Zack Snyder wanted this film to be like 4 hours long, but Warner Brothers said no.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a 4 hour movie. And they're like, yeah, you're going to have to cut that back a bit. So there was a lot we missed. We probably didn't even get... they probably had Darkseid on there. They probably... everything. They probably did a bunch of stuff, but still, you know what I mean? It's whatever. It's a great film, though. Here, this is a good one. KG Prolox, super reviewer. 3 stars. It's not bad. Whether or not you feel like arguing for DC or Marvel, a good movie is a good movie, regardless of who made it. The term fun and dark are the two that get tossed around the most when comparing these two franchises. And while many people are wrong to like a movie based on its tone, I could gladly say that not much complaining can be done about the tone of Justice League. Meshing light and dark to form a solid mixture of two, due to some unfortunate circumstances behind the scenes, may have actually made this a better film than it originally was.
Now, see, that's why I kind of held back a little bit, because that's how I felt. I thought that it maybe necessarily wasn't... I mean, it's sad that Zack Snyder's daughter passed away. That really is unfortunate.
She killed herself.
Yeah. In any case, she
It's
died.
for people that didn't know.
She that's unfortunate. But you know, maybe it wasn't too bad that they brought in Joss Whedon to like, I don't know, lighten the film up or do whatever he was gonna do. I'm sure he had a lot more influence after Snyder stepped away completely. But you know, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing because you know nobody liked Batman v Superman, and now they're saying, "Oh, the tone's too inconsistent," but you didn't like the last round of movies, you know. So how can you go back on that now that they've course corrected it to be like, okay, well then we'll scale it back a little bit because it's not like it doesn't look like an Avengers movie. It looks like a Zack Snyder directed film at times. There's a few weird shots, specifically like when Aquaman's talking to Bruce, and they're going back and forth. Some of those shots were a little weird and out of place. Like in Aquaman was kind of like staged differently. It just looked weird. And that's going to happen in a film with like two directors, especially with reshoots, but I mean, those are few and far between, you know. Those don't really take you out of the movie unless you're like a super big asshole or something.
I just wanted to point out, the only person's reviews that matter ever on Rotten Tomato, which is why I don't take it seriously anymore, is the top critics and the top reviewers. The people that Rotten Tomatoes believe are the voice of the people. I've scrolled through literally 20 of these pages as Mr. Mike was talking. I've seen maybe out of the 15 to 20 people that are on the page, maybe 3 out of the 4 of them have given this less than 3 stars. This is literally probably one of the...
Less than 3 stars?
That's out of the 20, or the 15 to 20, there's probably 3 people on there that have given it like 3 stars or less.
Then how does it have such a bad score?
Because the only people's scores that matter or that give the score are the top reviewers. So it's kind of like
but if they I mean, it's out of 5 stars, right?
Yeah, it's not balanced between the people that just make an account to talk. It's balanced out of the people that are like that work for the Post and the Huffington Times and the Onion, stupid shit like that.
The Onion?
Yeah. The Onion.
I don't think they have a representative from the Onion.
You never know, bro.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Vice is on here. Vice is ridiculous.
Vice?
I
whatever.
I hate fucking listening to Vice reviews.
You really hate Vice? Vice
yeah.
is okay.
No, they're not.
Vice has their spot.
They're the spot on the shelf of...
Well, they do a lot. They have a lot of avenues. So I can't hate. They're doing their thing. So what did you think about the film? Let's hear your thoughts.
From beginning to end, I thought it was fantastic.
You thought it was fantastic?
Yeah.
Really?
I did not think there was really any plot holes in here. Some things that people didn't notice at the very end when Steppenwolf was getting his ass beaten, and at the very end where the giant beam came up, that was dark side all the way. He was getting his ass destroyed. Who do you think was going to call that prick home? The big guy. That was just like the biggest hint. I was like, no, he just disappeared. He's dead. No, motherfucker. That's the next scene. For the people who haven't seen this movie, unfortunately, there is going to be spoilers in this. Go see it.
We already told them there's spoilers.
We might as well. They did a fantastic job on the last credit scene. I think there's more quality in it rather than a Marvel, because the Marvel movies are like anywhere from like 10 to 15 seconds. This was like a dope-ass scene. At the very end of it, Mr. Slade Wilson got his first screen appearance. Phenomenal. They did a great job. I literally, when he got off his little boat, I really could not pick a single thing apart about him. The way he looked, the way he dressed, his outfit from his helmet down to his gear, his swords, two different ones.
He took the helmet off.
Oh yeah, dude, he was badass. And then, there's Lex Luthor just seemingly chilling on a boat like he's never been in jail in his entire life. Like he just walked out of there with no problem at all. I'm like, damn. I'm like, how long?
How do you feel about him in this movie? he's in it for what, like a minute? He's about in it
Yeah,
as long
it's
as
about a
Jim
minute
Gordon
scene.
is.
Yeah, it was about a minute scene.
Yeah, he's got as much screen presence as Jim Gordon does.
Yeah.
So
Great opening.
But how did you feel about him in this? Because in Batman vs Superman,
Well, you got to see the extended cut.
I did see the extended cut.
I'm talking for everyone that hasn't seen it, because there's a lot of people that still have not get that movie a chance. Phenomenal movie.
I've watched it a few times since then. It's pretty good, dude.
Literally, Ben Affleck.
They covered the plot holes a lot better. I mean, you still might not like the Martha scene, but I mean, it explains so much more in the extended cut, because he gets those letters from Lex Luthor that you don't see in the theatrical cut that says you let your family die. You see a lot more, and then it goes well with the opening shot. So it's not just opening shot and then Martha anymore. There's a few more scenes where he gets to these stuff like that. Just explains it so much more. The little transitions where Lex has the kryptonite that just weren't in the theatrical cut. It's a better movie.
Yeah, phenomenal movie. Fun fact: Batman in the comics.
Yeah. But the Martha scene still might not do it for you, because I mean, I agree it's a little goofy. Moments like that, aren't going to do it for you in the DCEU if they're just like mindlessly destroying things like in Man of Steel. But those just feel really nitpicky when you think about it.
You want to know a fun fact about Batman?
What?
Batman has a contingency plan for everything, even the Justice League. He built it. He assembled the team. He could kill them all if he really wanted to. Let's get down to it. He's not a super being, but believe me when I say this, he's
like an alternate story or something somewhere where he took them down.
I've never read it.
I'm
pretty sure they probably did.
But I've seen it. I've seen a few panels online. I've heard about it. I haven't read it. I'd like to read that. That sounds interesting.
When I was saying Batman with a contingency plan, he has every type of kryptonite known to man. And there is a pink kryptonite that could turn Kryptonians gay. I just wanted to share that. I thought that was fucking hilarious. The green one can kill him. There's another one that can completely strip a Kryptonian of their powers, and it just never comes back. It's he literally has like a bat cave where it's like a safe, and they're just all in there. And I'm like, this guy's a gangster. I'm like, where can you get this stuff from? But back to the movie.
Things got a little ridiculous in that era.
It did, but it was still dope. Great movie. Gal did a phenomenal job. I already knew that. I feel like they kind of toned her down a little bit in this movie, but she was still badass, meaning I feel like they could have gave her just a little bit more screen time.
Oh yeah, they toned her down and slid Superman up.
Yeah. I don't want to say he was overpowered, but that's Superman though. He's literally a fucking alien being from another planet who can shoot laser beams out of his eyes. I'm pretty sure he could just do whatever the hell he wants.
Bro, ice breath.
Oh, first time. Yeah, I was just saying that, dude.
And it was awesome. And it was clean.
Oh yeah, they didn't like some giant beam. It was just breath, and it was. I was like,
it was so effective. It cooled his axe. Oh, dude.
It was it was dope.
Yeah.
I
fanboyed.
I was happy about that scene.
That was cool. That was clever. I like that they busted that out. I haven't heard anyone say anything about that, but I freaked out for the breath.
Yeah. She did a great job. I just feel like she could have got some more screen time. That's just one thing. Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller. I couldn't find another person better to play Flash.
You think he's better than what's the guy's name? Gus Grant on TV?
Yeah.
If I'm getting that right. I hope I didn't ruin his name.
Yeah, most WB or CBW, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't.
CW.
Yeah, CW. I don't really consider that an alternate universe to DC. Just like I don't consider I mean, if it was like on the big screen where it was actually a part of the universe now.
It's like a separate DC universe. It's like their own little special thing.
I know, but still, it's just
You don't look at them seriously?
I don't, because they made the Flash look ridiculous. They have literally they've introduced every single one of the Flash. And I'm like, that's cool. That's cool, whatever. And then they got all their sidekicks, shit like that, all that. And I'm like, that's cool. Your costumes are ridiculous. Story arc is absurd. What story are you following? It's like they created their own goddamn timeline, and I just don't like it.
Well, that's what people say about Justice League.
No, it doesn't make
there is no story.
Well, the people that say there is no story clearly have never read the comics. That's
fair, I guess.
If you read the comics,
this movie isn't supposed to appeal to just the fanboys anymore. That's why they got Joss Whedon in. That's where the criticism comes in.
Well, you can't always appeal to one audience. That's like getting, oh god, that's like saying a pickup truck only appeals to rednecks.
Yeah, so that, that's what I'm saying. It's not. I guess you can't really say it's fair to say, well, you're stupid. You haven't read the comics. Because they are trying to appeal to the fans now. That's why Batman v Superman was so dark. They let Zack do his thing. They edited it a little bit, obviously. And they took out 31 minutes. But I mean, this movie, it's like they took it from his hands a little bit. That's why when I told you it started and it said a Zack Snyder film, I was like, that's debatable.
Right.
Because I mean, I don't know if he intended it to be darker the whole time, but there is a very, distinct difference from that movie. And I don't think that's bad, though. I think it helps this film, but, that's what those people are saying.
When Tim Burton got on with Warner Brothers, and they did the Michael Keaton Batman, from then until now, I feel like Tim Burton never left. Like, his, theories and, his blood is just kind of, stained right across Warner Brothers. You could literally have puppies. It's going to be a dark-ass movie. I don't care.
Oh, as far as the DC universe goes? Yeah, a little bit. Well, he helped. He was, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's kind of fair as far as cinematically goes.
Yeah. Great job by Gal. How do you say it again?
Gal Gadot.
What's the other one? Flash.
Oh, Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller did a great job, even though he's not really a big actor, but he still did a great job for his first huge on-screen appearance.
I think that's good for Flash, though.
Yeah, because you can't just pick somebody. You could. It had to be someone unknown.
I don't think you really could be a huge movie star for Flash.
Yeah, not at all.
I think you needed I mean, they kind of made him a little nerdy, and if you're going Barry Allen traditional wise, he's not really nerdy, but he's from this, he was in the Silver Age.
Right.
So, of course they didn't make him nerdy. He was just a police scientist. But you can't do that for a mass audience film. So, they made him the nerdy, quirky sidekick, and I mean, that's kind of what that's what Wally West kind of is anyway. That's what arguably most people think of when they think Flash, because that's the cartoon Flash, was Wally West. So, no one gives a fuck if it's Wally West or Barry Allen. That's Flash.
Right.
So, yeah, go with the nerdy guy. Makes sense. And he did great. I mean, he, Pet Sematary. He pushed Wonder Woman's sword back into her hand.
There was a nice reference between man and God.
What?
Did you get it? She's a god and he's a man. And
oh yeah.
Did you get it?
That's what that was. That's funny.
Yeah, it's clean.
That's funny.
Aquaman. I don't even know where to start. Fucking amazing.
You liked him?
Dude,
I was kind of worried you weren't.
Oh, dude, I loved him. He had that kind of just because he's the king of the sea, but he hasn't been crowned yet. He's trying to stay away from it. You know what I mean?
Well, they just got done shooting an Aquaman movie.
Yeah.
And people are worried. Well, a lot of people are worried. Probably Warner Brothers too. That this movie isn't going to make enough money to make another movie after Aquaman.
Well, it doesn't matter if they can't make sequels to these movies, as long as they continue the Justice League franchise. That's all that matters.
They're thinking about just making solo films and not doing Justice League stuff.
They literally.
Yeah.
If Warner Brothers wants to go out of business,
this is what they need to do. Just stop. Just stop listening to the critics. Stop addressing it. Just hire a director and let him carry out his vision.
Right.
They have Jeff Johns in charge of this whole thing. He's a good writer. I just got Doomsday Clock from Comic City the other day. I believe he helped write it. Like, he's a good writer. I don't know if he can exactly run a cinematic universe. Maybe get someone else in charge, or maybe just let him carry out the rest of his vision, because he did recently just get put in charge. And see where it goes. Just stop reacting and just go forward.
It's a fair argument.
That's what I think, because arguably, no, not arguably, but I guess it doesn't matter if these films don't make money, because then they can't keep making them. But if this movie does end up doing well, then yeah, just keep going forward and quit letting down that audience you already built up.
Right.
Some people do like these movies. I do. For the most part, I don't like Suicide Squad still. You don't either?
No, 2's coming out soon.
Yeah.
I think it was confirmed that Deathstroke's going to be the...
Well, whatever. Back to Justice League. We'll get into that. But, so... Anyway, oh yeah, Aquaman. That's what you were talking about. Mm-hmm. What about him?
I couldn't pick anything apart. I really couldn't. There's nothing that I could pick apart, and I really wish I could, but I can't. There's just nothing. I think it was phenomenal.
You thought he did that great of a job as
Aquaman?
Yeah.
Fuck, you couldn't have found someone better for that.
Well, that's what you said about The Flash.
You couldn't.
You think they just knocked it out the park with all these castings, though?
Oh my god. Can you? Are you disagreeing?
I'm just,
Cyborg. I'm a little upset that he wasn't in his final stage of his.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
He did say in the movie, which kind of plugged a hole for me, when he was like, he's like evolving every day, and he's like, and flies for a sec. He's like, couldn't do that last night, and I'm like, okay. And then right where they're kind of like flashing to each person's life, he's in the Star Labs with his dad, and he transforms into the complete cyborg, and I'm like, that's dope. You know what I mean? Where it was like it was Teen Titans cyborg style. It was was dope.
It was full cyborg.
Yeah.
He had the circle.
Yeah, the chest plate, the armor, smoothed out, fucking chromed out interior. It was dope, dude.
Well, a lot of people say they didn't like that. They say Ray Fisher's performance as Cyborg was good, which I would agree with. I thought he did great. Mm-hmm. But they say that he was just the tool guy in this film.
Fuck. First off, let me address this. They're probably saying
we just need someone to do this. Cyborg mechanics.
No, they're probably saying that because he's black. Let's be honest. No, I'm not trying to be fucked up about it, but seriously, that's what people are probably saying. For anyone that doesn't know, Cyborg is black. He is an African American. He was in the comics. He was in the cartoons. He is in the fucking movie. Get past it. Whoever doesn't like him just because he's black, get past it. He's Cyborg. There's a lot of people that don't.
Have you read that? I haven't read anything about that.
It's 2017
I
we live
Star
in.
Wars.
No, it's 2017.
There was a big thing over. What was his name? I said I liked the movie. I don't even remember the character's name.
I can't remember his name. He played Finn. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember there was a lot of people who freaked out.
Great actor.
But I haven't read anything about Cyborg.
The only reason why everyone freaked out is because there hasn't been a black actor since Lando Calrissian, and that's been 30 years. But still, Cyborg's dope. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. If they're saying he's just a tool man, then Batman's just the money. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. I'm just gonna discredit everything that everybody that said that.
That's fair.
He's not the tool man. He's literally the one that disconnected the cubes. He's the one that technically brought Superman back. He is.
Yeah, he did run the numbers on that.
Yep.
Figure that out.
He's a hard ass, which I like. And they didn't make him stereotypical. They didn't make him just like. I don't know how to explain it. In a lot of movies, black people are just portrayed as like stereotypical. They're just the sidekick. You know what I mean? That's just how it always is. You know what I mean? It's kind of like It's kind of like, name one black cartoon that hasn't been canceled, that's still running to this day. Then and it's his show. He's the main character.
Are they still running Static Shock?
No, absolutely not. They haven't been running that in a while.
Are you sure?
Positive. Name one show that he's not a supporting character.
A cartoon?
The only show that is out right now is the show that Tyler, Creator, has made. Don't know what it's called, but the character was originally white for like 3 episodes, and then he changed it to be black, which is a good idea. Should have been black from the start. I don't know why he made the character white, but...
Because Tyler's a white guy.
He's weird.
Joking.
But still, they didn't make him stereotypical. It's a good animation, good CGI besides the farm. For this casting, they fucking knocked it out of the park.
That's what I thought too. But they say Cyborg CGI isn't that great either. I did find myself looking at it a lot to check to see if it was like shit. So I don't know.
It looked attached to him. I didn't see any. It looked like him. You know what I mean? I didn't see.
Yeah, they said like, oh, cheap CGI, but like, I don't know. Like, I found myself really like looking at it and being like, is this supposed to be bad? Like I don't know. Is that supposed to be bad CGI? It didn't look like 1996 CGI. 96 CGI looks horrible.
And then fucking...
So like,
let's not forget the early 2000s Ben Affleck as Daredevil. The scene where he's jumping off the building. That's bad CGI.
I don't even remember that.
Watch Daredevil with Ben Affleck.
Well, yeah.
He jumps off the fucking building.
Like 3 times.
Horrible CGI.
Well, it's like watching. I ran Spider-Man, the first one, Toby. Ran that one back not too long ago, and it looked a little dated at parts. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's still competently shot, but like the part where he's like bouncing from balloon to balloon, it doesn't hold up as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if maybe in a few years, I'm gonna look at this movie and be like, oh yeah, that's bad. But like right now in the moment, it looked fine to me, I guess. A few moments of his mustache were pretty noticeable, but
yeah, his teeth. I was super disappointed with that.
And I mean, this movie did cost $300 million to make, so there shouldn't be an excuse for that. But when you have this much studio interference, I guess it is what it is, eh?
Yeah.
It's fucked up. I'm kind of disappointed they took Green Lantern out.
Oh, shit. Let's talk about that for a second. What? Where that big-ass battle scene and they're like Atlanteans, Amazonians, people from other worlds. I'm like, holy fucking shit, dude. The 2 Green Lanterns, that's all that they needed, too. They didn't need the whole Green Lanterns Corp. They just needed 2 motherfuckers to do a little business and call it a day. Shit was lit, dude. And then the cool thing too is where they stuck true to it, where when a lantern dies, the ring flies off, and
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, amazing, fucking amazing. I don't even know where to begin. Hopefully, those 2 actors that portray, I didn't even get to see them, and that was like the best Green Lantern scene I've seen in my entire life. First off, let's talk about the Green Lantern. Unfortunately, people that transition from Marvel typically go to DC. And the last couple of years, or the last 30, people that didn't do well in Marvel transition to DC and they've done phenomenal, and people that haven't done well in DC transition to Marvel and do phenomenal. The only exception is Michael Keaton, Batman, and the Vulture. Phenomenal. Only exception. Deathstroke was Flash Thompson. He was supposed to be Venom. For some odd reason, they did not cast that man in Spider-Man 3. They chose Eric Foreman from That Fucking 70s Show. Horrible idea. They brought too much comedy to Venom. Now, Venom was kind of like when he was in his symbiont suit. He was kind of right. He was kind of a character, but he wasn't Eric Foreman. Every time I saw him in that suit, all I'm thinking of him is getting a foot shoved up his ass by Red. That's all I'm thinking. So, horrible idea. So he transitioned from Flash
He
Thompson
was
to Death.
fresh off that 70s show.
Dude, it was
too.
clean,
He
yeah.
had that TV show Shine, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is Hollywood, man. Don't do this.
And killed his career, literally. Well, I mean, how many movies has he been in since then?
I haven't seen him in too many big movies since then.
Yeah, no, it's literally his first on-screen appearance, and it literally destroyed his entire career. Unfortunately, but that's how it goes.
Peace, Topher Grace.
Yeah, fuck.
R.I.P. Eric Foreman. Pour one out.
Dope as fuck though. Super happy.
Who else has transitioned back and forth though? I'm interested. Because I know Chris Evans was Human Torch, and then he was Captain America, so he stayed on the Marvel side of things. Oh, fucking Ryan Reynolds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that was the main one. And now he's Deadpool. By the way, fantastic transition.
Even though he's technically not MCU.
Yeah, but it's still a part of the Marvel. Yeah. TV show. The guy that actually played the Superman with Jesus Christ, Kevin Spacey was Lex Luthor. He transitioned.
R.I.P. Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, he's on the TV show though. They actually just killed him off. He transitioned from being Superman to a Marvel character. I forgot.
Yeah, Superman.
The Atom or something.
Returns? I don't even know who played that guy. Honestly, I don't know that actor's name.
Yeah, he's the Atom. I think it was called.
In what?
In a Marvel TV show.
Which one?
I forgot.
Do you watch those?
Not really.
Why not?
I just don't. I'm not a fan of him.
Watch 2 episodes of The Punisher. Fucking.
That's
amazing.
different. We're talking about that. That's different. That's completely different.
But
Luke Cage.
But Justice League.
I'm talking.
I don't know. This makes it sound like the movie's bad. We keep getting off track.
No, we're not. We're just talking. we're comparing and contrasting. But still, fantastic movie. I really couldn't poke any holes in this.
Are you sure? It sounds like you just got paid by Warner Brothers. I mean, is there something you didn't like? There's got to be something. Because I thought you were gonna walk away from it like, not for me as much. Because I remember I walked out
true
and hated BVS till I got that extended cut, and I was like, oh shit, this is low key and epic. I mean, it's 3 hours long. Doesn't it qualify as an epic?
The story for Flash, what they're doing right now, stick it to the comics.
Oh yeah, they might reboot everything.
Don't
Flashpoint.
Don't fix what isn't broken. His dad's in prison for killing his mom, supposedly. He loves his dad. He's trying to prove his innocence. He got a job at a crime lab. Dope.
Who wrote
Captain...
a script about Flash where he's already working in a crime lab?
I have no idea.
Introduces Iris West and Captain Cold and sets up a Flash universe. I did.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Mike. Yeah. Mr. Mike wrote a screenplay here, and it's phenomenal. If anyone doesn't know, check out. You don't have it posted, do you?
No. Why would I do that?
I don't know. Everyone, I'm sorry, but you're shit out of luck. You won't be able to see it.
No. Tell them to put me in charge so that we can see this Flash movie before they reboot everything with Flashpoint. In any case, yeah, you might as well. They're running Flashpoint, aren't they? Is that the plan?
I'm not sure.
Because they're running Aquaman next for sure.
They've changed directors like 10 times.
Well, they've changed directions.
Director.
1,000 times. I mean, Flash was just supposed to be like a normal Flash, and then out of nowhere this year they're like, Flashpoint. And I'm like, you're going to reboot everything?
Yeah.
And then that's when the Ben Affleck rumors came out. So, I don't know what this studio is doing, but they need to fucking put a rein on this.
Right.
Come on. This is Warner Brothers.
Chief needs to come down and just be like, all right, guys. Calm the fuck down.
They need a vision. And I mean, it's kind of sad because Lost in the Shuffle is a pretty decent amount of movies. I mean, Man of Steel. I wrote about this in my Roger Havarti blog, if anyone wants to read that. But Man of Steel, I thought was decent. It's a good film, competently put together.
I thought it was great.
It's kind of weird to see Superman all depressed in that movie because he is really like Superman in this movie. But at the same time, when you see him as Superman in this movie, because of Man of Steel and BVS that came before it, it's like a huge payoff. Because when he shows up and spouts his cheesy line about, I'm a big fan of justice, and hits Steppenwolf in the face, I was like, that's Superman!
Yeah.
Like, that was awesome! I freaked, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not supposed to enjoy things.
No, that's not it. To be honest, I can't poke any holes in the story. They're doing a good job with Flash.
Oh,
Aquaman.
Suicide Squad, didn't like. BVS, theatrical cut, not good. Extended cut, great. Worth the look. Wonder Woman, I really enjoyed that movie. I really liked Wonder Woman. That's probably...
Yeah, did a phenomenal job.
Might still be the best film in the DCEU.
Rest assured, if all these other movies fail...
I saw Wonder Woman twice in theaters and Justice League twice now, so I don't know which one's better between the two.
Rest assured, if all these movies fail, Wonder Woman is going to at least have a sequel.
Well, yeah, she got Brett Ratner out of there.
Yeah.
So it's definitely happening.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in the 50s. And unfortunately, they might bring Steve Trevor back.
How the fuck will they do that?
That's what I'm worried about.
Is he going to be like a fucking...
They better not, because after this film, when Batman, called her out for that...
blown up by hydrogen. There should be nothing of him left.
Yeah. So I read that, though. They might bring him back. And I was like, you better not. Like... No, and then they made it in this movie like a big point between, like, that's the big, like, rift in the team between the two. And I actually liked it because if you did see Wonder Woman, I mean, she beats the shit out of all those people at the end after Steve Trevor dies. She beats up Ares, kills him. It's like a big deal. And then in this movie, they make it a point that Bruce brings that up to Diana when they're arguing to kind of, he's trying to motivate her, but it kind of really just makes him look like an ass while they're thinking over plans. Like, they're not working together properly. It's a big point, and it's because of his death. So if you bring him back in Wonder Woman 2, you just cheapen all that, and that's fucking bullshit. Don't do that.
Fun fact.
That's why I'm saying they need someone in charge who can look over these details.
Yeah.
Because that guy, Kevin Feige, who runs the MCU, great vision. He's been looking ahead for a long time.
Before we kind of bring this to a small pause, I am really happy that we got to see kind of that I know it's going to sound weird, but even in the cartoons and even in the comic books, there's always sexual tension. I think it's good, but I'm really happy they had that kind of sexual tension between Batman and Diana. Because Batman, that I know of, has never really expressed his love for her, but it has been made a...
keeps it professional.
Yeah, there has been a point to where he has mentioned that, some of the things that are kind of holding him back are his love for her and then some other things. So.
How did you feel about Flash falling down on Wonder Woman and sexualizing her, getting back up real quick?
I thought it was kind of funny, and I wish she would have made kind of like a joke like that was fast. I think that would have made that scene so much more funnier.
Oh shit, that would have been great, actually.
Because he was like this. He's right on top of her, and he gets up, and she's like if she would have said that, that would have made the scene fucking amazing. I mean, come on, it's a movie. There's no such thing as there's no such thing as sexualization. There's no such thing as in the movies, because it's a movie. You're not gonna see people raping people. You're not gonna see people being racist. It's a fucking movie. It's like during the X-Men movie. During the X-Men movie, I forgot what it was. Apocalypse.
Nathaniel the Great.
Everyone was pissed that Apocalypse was choking Mystique. This man is a creature from another era who wants to take over the world and kill a bunch of people. Do you really think that he's not going to choke a bitch? Let's be honest.
He is a savage. I didn't see that movie, actually. I saw Days of Future Past. I thought that was great.
Great movie, too.
All right. Well, I I guess we'll just wrap it up here then. So, would you recommend Justice League?
Yes. 10 stars. I don't even think there's a 10-star scale. But if I had to, I watched it once, so right now I'm giving it 5. I'll probably watch it again. There's another 5. There's your 10.
Wow. So, someone's a little biased.
No, like 8, 8.5. The other the other star and a half is for the 2 scenes of CGI.
So you have a very strong reaction to this movie.
Fucking amazing, dude. The scene where she busts through that door. First off, her and doors don't really mix well. I'm gonna just be straight up honest. She just loves blowing through doors. It's not like she kicks it open either. She just runs through them and they disintegrate. It's phenomenal. Other than that,
oh my, yeah, when he fucking
she's
up
just like
the crowd and she was just spinning around, knocking.
That was dope,
with
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, and another thing about
I
Wonder
really
Woman.
want this movie to do well because I'm full disclosure, I'm a huge DC fan, so I want these movies to do well. But and you know, I do enjoy the Marvel films. I mean, if you want to get technical, yeah, they're put together better. They have the more basic, similar story structures. But I mean, I got into DC Comics because of the crazy crossovers that they just pulled out of their ass. That's why I've been a consistent reader for so long. So to see them take the more family-friendly approach, but still keep that Snyder vision that they wanted to plan, I thought was fine, and I would recommend the film.
So would I.
Okay. I don't have a cool ending quote, so